So we are now going to answer August 2023, question 2C. I read, James Kamau had 3.6 million shillings to invest and is considering the foreign exchange market. The following information relates to two forex bureaus. There is Forex Bureau X and Forex Bureau Y. We are given the buying price and the selling price. Then we are told that the two forex bureaus are in the same location. Required, calculate the locational arbitrage gain for John Kamau with 3.6 million shillings to invest, if any, 4 marks, Roman 2. Explain the scenario that is necessary for locational arbitrage to exist, 2 marks. That is the question. That is the question. Roman 1. Calculate the locational arbitrage gain. Calculate the locational arbitrage gain. First of all, what is locational arbitrage gain? Now, locational arbitrage gain refers to the profit earned by exploiting price differences for the same asset in different markets or locations. Do you understand? It is the profit that one earns by exploiting price differences for the same asset in different markets or locations. Here we have two locations, that is Forex Bureau X and Forex Bureau Y, and you can see the exchange rates are not the same. The exchange rate there are not the same. They are different. You can see that Forex X is selling Tanzania shillings at an exchange rate of 0.09 against Kenya shillings and 0.11 against Kenya shillings. So you see the exchange rates are different, but the asset is the same. So locational arbitrage gain is the profit that one earns by exploiting price differences for the same asset in different markets. And this strategy capitalizes on the fact that prices can vary due to many factors like market conditions. Prices can vary because of geographical disparities and so on. So what is the locational arbitrage gain? Locational arbitrage gain, that is the question. Locational arbitrage gain. That is the question. Locational arbitrage gain. Now look at the question again. We are told that James Kamau had 3.6 million to invest. 3.6 million to invest. All right? And he is considering the foreign exchange market. So there are two forex bureaus X and Y with different exchange rates. So you are to calculate the locational arbitrage gain. So the locational arbitrage gain will be equal to the buying minus the amount that is to invest. That is the 3.6 million. The 3.6 million. 3.6 million. The buying value minus the amount that he initially invested. Minus, this will be equal to the buying value minus the amount, or let me just call it initial investment. Let me call it initial investment of 3.6 million. Initial investment. He has 3 million to invest in the foreign exchange market. So we need two values to determine the locational arbitrage gain. The buying value and the initial investment. Initial investment, we already have it. That is 3.6 million. So I want you to imagine, candidates, that you have 3.6 million, which you want to use to exploit price differences in the forex exchange market. And you have these two forex bureaus, X and Y. So you need to check to this investor should buy the Tanzania shillings from which forex bureau. And how are we to determine the forex bureau that James Kamau should use to buy the Tanzania shillings? And the answer to that question is that James Kamau should buy Tanzania shillings from a forex bureau that is selling the Tanzania shillings at a lower exchange rate. At a lower exchange rate. And you can see that the exchange rate forex bureau X is 0.09. So this forex bureau X is selling Tanzania shillings at the exchange rate of 0.09. That is the ask price or the selling price. Then forex bureau Y is selling Tanzania shillings at the rate of exchange rate of 0.11. So James Kamau can only buy from the exchange rate that is lower. And the one that is lower is Forex Bureau X. The exchange rate is 0.09. 0.09. So the first thing that James Kamau should do is to convert the 3.6 million shillings into Tanzania shillings from Forex Bureau X, because that is the lowest. So we'll have these two values. So we'll have something here like workings. Let me call it workings. So step one, the investor should buy. The investor should convert the Kenya shillings into Tanzania shillings. The investor should convert the Kenya shillings into Tanzania shillings at Forex Bureau X. At Forex Bureau X, because the exchange rate is 0.09. So let us convert. You've seen that shillings this is Kenya shillings 0.09 is equivalent to 1 Tanzania shilling. Therefore, the 3.6 million shillings will be equivalent to Kenya shillings 3.6 million divided by the Kenya shillings 0.09 times Tanzania shillings. So we convert the 3.6 million into Kenya shillings, and that should be equal to how much? Can someone do that? That should be equal to, Kevin says, 40 million Tanzania shillings. 40 million Tanzania shillings. This is equivalent to Tanzania shillings 40 million. That is the first step. Convert the 3.6 million shillings, Kenya shillings, into Tanzania shillings. After converting the Kenya shillings into Tanzania shillings, the investor can then check from the two bureaus where to exchange the Tanzania shillings again into Kenya shillings at a higher rate. You understand? At a higher exchange rate. At a higher exchange rate. And you can see candidates. Forex Bureau X is buying Kenya shillings at 0.08. That is the exchange rate. At 0.08. That is the exchange rate. And Forex Bureau Y is buying Tanzania shillings. All right, the exchange rate is 0.11. 0.11. So this investor, having bought Tanzania shillings, has to convert these Tanzania shillings to Kenya shillings again. Because remember, we say that locational arbitrage refers to the profit that is earned by exploiting price differences in the market. So after converting the 3.6 million shillings, Kenya shillings, into the Tanzania shillings, the second step is to convert this amount in Kenya shillings in Forex Bureau Y. In Forex Bureau Y. All right? Forex Bureau Y. Why? Because the exchange rate in Forex Bureau Y is higher. He will earn more if he exchanges the Kenya shillings in Forex Bureau Exchange Y at an exchange rate of 0.10 Kenya shillings. 0.10 Kenya shillings. This is step 2. Step 2, convert the Tanzania shillings into Kenya shillings at Forex Bureau Y. And the exchange rate here is 0.10 shillings. So 1 Tanzania shilling here is equivalent to Kenya shillings 0.11. So we are converting the Tanzania shillings of 40 million, which will be equal to Tanzania shillings 40 million divided by Tanzania shillings, 1 Tanzania shillings times 0.11. We convert back to Kenya shillings. So can someone do that? How much is it? How much is it? Magdalene says 4 million. 4 million. Magdalene says 4 million Kenya shillings. 4 million Kenya shillings. 4 million. So the buy value here is 4 million. The investor initially invested 3.6 million. Therefore, the locational arbitrage gain is equal to 4 million minus 3.6 million. This is 400,000. That is the locational arbitrage gain. Locational arbitrage gain. And this amount you can see, candidates, the investor has exploited the differences in prices of currencies. The asset is the same. So that is how to calculate locational arbitrage. In Roman 2, we read, explain the scenario that is necessary for locational arbitrage to exist. Explain the scenario that is necessary for locational arbitrage to exist. What condition has to exist for locational arbitrage to happen? Now, candidates, the scenario that is necessary for locational arbitrage to exist is the process or the presence of price discrepancies for the same asset in different markets. That is the main scenario. Because, for example, if this investor went to these two forex bureaus and the prices were the same, the exchange rate were the same, then there is no way this investor could gain anything. But because there were discrepancies or differences in prices, then it was possible for this investor to earn the 400,000 shillings. So the scenario or the condition that must exist for arbitrage to happen is that there has to be price discrepancies for the same asset in different markets or location. And that means that the asset could be what we have just seen here, currency, it could be stocks, it could be commodities, and so on. So the price discrepancy, the price differences, we need to understand also can happen due to different factors, like market inefficiencies, like information asymmetry, and so on. And in most cases, candidates, locational arbitrage is normally conducted by banks or other forex or foreign exchange dealers who have systems that can continuously monitor the quotes provided by other banks. So that is the end of that question. We've done August 2023, question A, B, and C. This is part B. Earlier on, we had done part A. Part B, these are how many marks? 8 marks. Part B, 8 marks. This is the formula for part B, and this is the working for part B. You are to calculate the present values. These were the present values, 1, 2, 3, 4. Present values, and all these are workings. Workings. All these are workings. 8 marks. 8 marks. Then part C, location arbitrage, this is 4 marks. 4 marks. And the explanation there is 2 marks. Thank you for attending this lesson. In our next session, we are going to answer question 3, August 2023. So far, we've already done 2024 April, we've done December 2023, and now we are doing August 2023. Our objective is to answer all questions that have been tested by CASNEP. If you have any question, please, you are free to send in questions. But I urge you to study ahead, answer the question, so that in our next lesson, we will compare notes. Bye-bye.